Even though it's August 29th, the very day that Venus is opposing Neptune, right before it goes into Libra, which is a very good place, and I'm sure I'll look a lot better. I'll have managed to take care of myself away from what I'm experiencing now. I don't mind the focus that it takes to get the manual um, shower going, just to keep the water and carry it in containers, keep the container. I have a container, I just have to wash it, blah, blah, blah. So, but I didn't want to talk about this as well. It's kind of part of it. See, I'm going to post this when, well, when it's October, say like 15th or so. Because on my behalf and other people's behalf, really, if you realize that this was actually made in August, who cares? People don't really want to remember anything, let alone do they jog their memory about anything. But just as humanity, I would like to make a little bit of a video for people. Like, well, how are we? See, I have the Mercury at 28 degrees. Any cardinal sign, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, is experiencing a hell of a lot of torque and stress and stretching and whatever you want to call it, just being knocked off of balance is a good way to put it, especially when we look at Libra. But see, every sign will have their different way of handling. See, the Aries sign is just rearing to go, has seen it a long time ago that they need to break free from the control freak, basically, and that would be none other than, of course, the money system has us pacified into doing things like, well, why are we even doing it? You know what I mean? Well, it's because what else are you going to do? Aren't you? You would be bored as hell, and especially, you want to fit in. Maybe who is really catering to that? But yes, 80% of the people are not only doing that, but they are um, secretly they are just more than miserable, right? I hate to bag on it because, well, I know bliss. I know the feeling of joy and how that can be contagion, and those kinds of people that I just mentioned who are now. Let's talk about patterning. So what I mainly wanted to talk about is it's about breaking that patterning that keeps us down. Really, it's like the chains that keeps us down. Um, but patterning is a big thing because we're in the middle of trying to recognize the patterning and to break away from it. See, and what is that patterning, Shauna? Well, we've talked about it a little bit here, but it's all over the place on the internet if you want to study, like trauma bond mind control, or just basic mind control. My chickens are saying something weird in there. Anyway, there's a lot of birds that come around here. Who knows what it was? Um, Trauma bond mind control, any kind of mind control, that just mind boning in general. But really, we're talking about programming done by what? Well, the money system does support so many different types of programming. I lean towards, first off, the religious programming. That's like number one, and then um, that talks about the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, and all that shit needs to be trashed because, first of all, you don't sound very well saying that because you don't have a translation for it. And the Holy Ghost, what's that? Is that, we know that maybe you're trying to say spirit, but what's that? See, do you have a translation? Do you have an experience that you can begin to, like, how's your being? See, this is the way that you would be able to tell is that, okay, there's something called righteousness, right? And then there's being at peace, really the inner peace that is really unmistakable with some people, you see, but it doesn't mean that you don't animate and with a number of amount of emotions, really. Right. People are suppressing and oppressing others of their emotions, and they don't allow themselves to get angry and heated up and like to confront things. They don't allow themselves to be sad. And you know what? There you go. It's like, okay, there's the money making system over there that just says, here, mask it all, and run for this, pacify yourself, ignore the complexity the complexity it is to be, you could say, becoming a human being, but to just maintain becoming being a human being, really, right? Everybody remembers being a kid and being disenfranchised in so many ways. Maybe, there's hope for you if you remember those times where it's like you question it and you're like, wait a minute, you know what? Fuck these people. I bet you anything I can prove it different if it's just me doing it quietly on my own and being the opposite of how they did whatever they did because it felt like boundary breaking. So be it. I will. And what am I, 5 or 6 now? Well, see, when the kid gets that kind of rebellion or idea and doesn't succumb to all of the programming and become a fucking warlock themselves, then by the time that they are 45 to 50, they are freeing other people away from that programming, and they mention it. And they have a much better dialogue about it. They found the side that says, yeah, no, beware of parrots, and you don't have to um, fit in to that whole system of misery that says 2 plus 2 is 5, right? 2 plus 2 is 5, and you look around, it's like, yeah, but you guys are very ugly looking, and I'm sorry, unhealthy, drinking the Kool-Aid and just doing the first suggested compulsory thing, which anymore is like, why do we do this? Because pull the curtain, there's a barrel pointing at you. Hello, didn't you see the big black boot? You didn't get your big black boot? You have to take your big black boot, or just take this gunpowder, right? Because it's no fun being exposed and then slowly experiencing having to sift out, and then maybe healing can happen. Maybe real life well-being and healing can happen. See, there's a hallmark card type of population out there, which is the same to say is that there's a narcissistic population out there, which is the same to say that there's a fake bunch of fucking people out there, which is the same to say there's a non-human bunch of people running around out there for some reason they really don't know, but they're sure they know. There's a surface reason. It's like a big, of course, obvious. Because why? Because I was told so, and yeah, it's great to stay busy, 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 busy for fuck's sake. Because what if we had to slow down and actually look each other in the eye and say hello, how are you, and show care and say, and have you eaten it yet today? Be present in the moment, and then see, asking them how is your system? How are you? Instead of saying me, my, and it's just like, you know what? You people wouldn't know where you are unless you had that selfish fucking demeanor or fucking mentality that doesn't even know that you can't, you're dehumanizing. You just don't even know it. You do not even know that your design is to dehumanize, and don't reach for anything but just know that maybe, yeah, you probably should think that God is way off in the distance. It's when you die, you're going to go and see God, and it's like, but there isn't anything further than the truth than that. I mean, it's better that you be reborn in this lifetime, that's what that is that you don't have to die to see God. Where is God? Well, I've mentioned it some vague way, and it's time to stop being so vague and stop beating around the bush, because it's apparent that people really need a stick about it and say, no, God is reality. God is this moment now. Take a breath. And I love this word. It came up like 3 days ago. Engage. Are you engaging? See, the thing about the Aries people, which is the part of the organism that says I am, it's just they are the nerve endings. See, I love the word canaries. If I had my little chalkboard, I would be putting it up right now. I'm hoping to raise money for that from people that enjoy my material here and think that they might be able to enjoy me personally in my personal life. See, the thing is yeah, I have a lot I would love to share. It's too much for a lot of people. I experienced it just the other day. Somebody brought somebody new to my place, and I'm like, yeah, let's go show them around. And you can tell that they're not really happy to see any of it. It's like, you know, not my people. But by the way, my people would be like, oh my God, shut up. Well, it's just as I mean, as is, and no, I mean it's beautiful. You hardly do any work. You are so lucky. My God, look at this. Are you kidding me? There's 3 apple trees, 4 next to the creek like this. Look at how bright everything is. You're so lucky. My God. Oh my God, look, oh, I see you need a tarp for the bubba. I've got some of that. Bubba. See, I want those people in my life. And sorry, I'm gonna keep narrowing it down. I know how to have people in my life. Look, I am not unuseful to them. Yeah, they wouldn't be around unless they found me useful somehow. And I didn't just say that I dehumanize myself and I start giving myself to them in such a way that it just discards everything of my character and being happy and well-being and anything like that, right? Humanity, and I am humanity, is in the middle of it right now. While Pluto's going backwards in the 29 Capricorn, are you going to decide? Are you going to figure it out that maybe those people that you've hung around with for all your life, 40 years, and you've remained a certain place in vibrational frequency that it's like ho hum, and it's just you're stuck, and it's more like you've been in a hive full of, now rub your eyes again. Are they anybody who challenges you to get better and be more communicative and more artistic and more, basically more happy? So you want to get rid of the disease that could be happening and being stuck, and especially in relationships that don't feel good and bring you to a better understanding, basically a better air, a better ability to be present to not just all that around you, the people, but say the way that you feel. Do they promote your good feeling through just saying, oh God, you know what? Wow. And call me later when these things are in bloom because blah, blah, blah. And you know what I mean? And say, I can use you. I happen to find you useful to me. I hope that you can find me of some use. See, that comes up a lot in my upper spectrum, like my 3 spectrum middle dimension language. You, there's a word us, but if you put the E behind it, it gives it some use, baby. That means energy. All right. So what is it? What do we do? Here. If you're purely a moneymaker, it's like you're poisoning the place, and you're two-faced, right? And it's like, you don't really have this kind of conversation. You have that conversation. It's like, you finding a window of time to kill with these people. And it's like, no, open a door for time to live here with people. Make it so, and know that, well, the obvious has always been there, which is, yeah, everybody's got to pay bills and make money, and let me show you around my misery with that. You don't want to see it. It's just like a big. So I'm about to wrap up my just to see if it can work for me. Very little do I need. That's what people don't like. That's what people don't. I didn't just say I don't need to replace the cover on that plug socket, or I don't need to spend money on. Maybe it would be nice to get a new roof because there was a little bit of a leak, but then the wood swells up and it closes off. But see, I know how to roof. See, I want a partner. I want good friends in my life. It says there's material over here, free stuff, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But only if they can use me. See, this is where it's like, okay, I got another 6 months, I guess, to figure out that I need to get out of here. And imagine this, babes, how hard it is. See, you wouldn't blame me, and when I say, and I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere in the world, but around the world. I just want to go somewhere completely different, because if I have to lose this legacy, which includes just holding ground the way I have and watching these people around me, I don't know, man, the way that the asphalt slingers, they're cruel and mean and poisonous, toxic people. And I'm surrounded by it. See, and I'm on this medium right here, and if my community can't, if I can't at all fit in, then why can't I figure out something with this? At the very least, hey, hey, how are you doing? I'm about in the middle of, I don't know. Do I need to change it? Do I need to find a good partner in my life? Do I need to change my vibrational frequency? I know for 100% that I have to change my vibrational frequency, but you know what? But. Now, getting back to the kid that needs to get away from those people that are poorly programmed, because you tend to become the people that you're hanging around. And I don't put it past people that they could be awakening, especially if they are around other people who are awakening. Then it kind of rubs off. The contagion is that you have to get away from the shit that's fucking keeping you down and in darkness and rolling around in that cycle. It's a repeat on repeat, and it's like you got to break that fucking pattern. You got to break it. Who cares? I mean, if you do see, everybody has that thing where, right? I did too, and you get into that pattern, but you break it. Do something else at the end of the day. What I mean is, after work, after that patterning that the government has everybody on, that is insane. It is a fucking trap. It is enslavement. It is a stronghold. It makes everybody rigid. All work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. And then, yeah, the 9 to 5 or whatever to 5, and then going from Monday to Friday or whatever it is. But whatever it is, it's just a cookie cut fucking mean to fucking real life, yes. Not very creative within those systems, like whatever you go to chug away at. You can't even be creative there, not really. When you see a right way to do things, you just say, you know what, would not build the place with this. But you're just doing it for money. We've all been there, right? Fucking, I hate that feeling. I don't say hate much either, but it's that feeling of, it's like you have to turn off all of your IQ and just doing your job, just obeying. Make it all plastic and use glue and hang it up. Thanks for listening. Video I'll make a little bit more. See, that's what we are in the middle of. Is like, can you break free from that fucking pathetic, soul-sucking frequency that now it's from the inside out? Do you feel it now? What are you going to do? See, it's a standoff. It's a standoff between what? See, we don't really know who is going to become president, right? Or even if they're going to follow through with fucking having actual presidencies. I mean, what I mean is, when are we going to admit that it's like, it's all we need is like, people need is just a squawk box that says something. That's what it is. They're getting, like I said, more and more into CGI, more and more into puppeted. Get it more just a bland looking character up there, or whatever, a highly characterized cartoon person like Donald Trump, that you can just turn into a character, really. But the thing is about CGI, it takes the very material that it's working with as far as that damned screen, and starts to animate it just like it's there animating, and you won't know the difference. Not any of you alcoholics out there, and that's what mostly is going on. And the pot smokers can care less. They're not going to organize anytime soon. They should, but they're the only organization probably, like, as if you were listening. But see, Kamala, I'll let you know again. I probably said it in my last video. She's an alcoholic. She's just doing alcoholism, and see a lot of the presidencies, most of all, the ones that they're being puppeted, and it's an extreme amount of shit that they're going through to just be up there doing that. They fixate on a certain something that anesthetizes them. Like, I don't know. I think Donald Trump, being 29, rising Leo, he's totally drunk on just pure ego, right? And no, you don't know what Trump is affiliated with, but I think that there is annihilation. He is definitely somebody that, not only there was an attempt, like with the assassination thing, but it's either that, or let's just say he commits suicide, or he tried to, or something. I don't know, but see, Israel owns Trump, and Israel lost whatever happened there. Remember when there was a war going on? It just fizzled out because they tried to get into Iran. Everybody knew that. See, Trump, somebody that organization jumps the gun there and makes it impossible for Trump to become president, because that's Israel's friend. And Israel, they are holding secrets to the highest technology that is being used right now against the population. They did it when Trump was president up here in the United States. But they've already been using the free energy technologies as weaponry, silent weaponry. Really, just they didn't see that with a smoke screen of fire, but then the smoke clears and there's like 1,000 cars roasted. And how do they fucking end up burning on the highway? Excuse me, with trees left standing green around them and stuff like that, and just incinerated cars and people have died. That's war. That's a fucking war machine that has come down and annihilated people. And the worst of it is how that they would do the media behind it, saying that they would keep it at 1,000 people lost their lives, and really it was 10,000 to 20 or 30,000. And the way that they would just mask that, they could easily do it with the public because nobody's all, they're not all communicating and talking to each other. So some people that had ones missing, when they go to file into the volunteers who only work 4 hours a day, they don't know the difference. They're just saying, "Oh, we're sorry, that was one of the um, people that was found in the 1,000 people," right? They could just keep saying that. They could just keep repeating that to people 10,000 times. We're sorry that your loved one missing is part of the 1,000 that were found missing or dead there, and they could just keep saying that 20,000 times. And some of them, well, at that point, we're not looking at volunteers and people that don't know what they're doing. They are off in the wings and they're waiting. They're per modern day nation. It is said that there's at least 45 million um, people. No, I'm sorry. In 45 million people, at least, there's like 5 million um, elite, high. What we mean is they are solely highly fucking mind blown. They get paid to do a lot of different things, like trash the place, basically. They're mind boned, and so but they get paid. They're in families, and they just have so much money. See, half of the kids there and half the people don't know how that they're there with all of that money and doing whatever they do. And really, but it is very hush hush because why? Well, the money that's involved, like the islands that are over there with all of the people that had to go there and do what, just to get their reputations all, and cause a lot of problems. Under mind control boning, it's hard to see through it all, and you do get right. You can only imagine how yeah, something like once they see somebody is going with their cognitive dissonance and stuff, kind of like JFK, who would just say, you know what, I think that we should talk about against the very people that have hired him up and puppet, and once they see that spazzing out, kind of like John Lennon over there, saying, oh yeah, I think that everything that is ran by these people, they are insane and it's all crazy. Well, he's dead in a couple of fucking years or 2 weeks after that. Why? Because, well, that guy is glitching out. He's starting to come to a little bit and he's too powerful. He can grab a mic and say, yeah, by the way, woo! Like Michael Jackson, bye! He was like, yeah, I know I'm weird and everything, but um, what do you think? Minute 25, are we done? Great. I'm still looking for, let's see, well, I'm not going to post this until November 1st on my mom's birthday, and we'll be in the thick of, what do you think? Did, did you close down the circles that were running that programming on you that keeps you stuck? And see, can you ever even talk to them about it? See, you can say, well, by the way, you're running the cycle again. You're trying to pull me into the cycle that is energetic, and I would love to get into it here, but I'm not. But we'll talk about it later. It's just like I said, the system, the calendars kind of, but really the system that has us doing Monday to Friday and back again to Monday to Friday. That's entrapment, and then all of it is really just forget about it. Can you get into the beautiful wave of the ultimate expression that is just what is here, what are we doing, and I love it. I love it. It's simple. It's simple. It's like okay, continue on with your meditation. You know, keep everything well and growing, and then pretty soon it'll be harvest. You know, have tons of apples and peaches, and what do we do? Well, right now, I mean, what I do because I don't know how to can. I don't have the canning down. I'm just not that organized, I guess. I don't focus on that. My focus is fucked up because of worry, you know, and also just thinking, you know what? Fuck your focus. I'm here already doing something. See, this is the thing. Is it's like now the way you beat that system is programming people to say, you know what, we are enough as is. And if you have not seen what my contribution was and can even use it, maybe we should separate out, get out of my face, stop passing judgment on me, and I certainly won't pass judgment on you, even though you need to be put in fucking higher courts of law and prove to us how possibly that 5 plus 5 is 11 or 2 plus 2 is 5, really, so the kids can get a good bearing on what the fuck is happening there. Can they be heard there?